Hello, this is Kathleen Parks. I'm president of the National Action Network, Louisville Metro, Kentucky State Chapter. And I just want to give you all an update on the status of the case regarding John Fitzgerald Johnson, aka Grandmaster Jay. As many of you all have been aware, his sentencing originally was scheduled for this upcoming Tuesday, August the 22nd, but it has been since pushed back to November the 9th for the federal trial and September the 9th for the state trial. There are many charges that have been placed against Grandmaster Jay, and he has sent us a letter stating 18 points of why he has been arrested and detained in the first place at the Oldham County Detention Center as a federal prisoner, better known as a political prisoner. And when I read these 18 points, as it has been articulated to me or has been sent to me via letter, you will better understand the case and why the National Action Network chapter and various coalition organizations have come on board to join us to free Grandmaster Jay. Those coalition groups are ASALA, the Voice of Louisville, Bishop Dennis Lyons, who has pulled together and mobilized and galvanized many coalition groups dealing with ministers and pastors in the community and the city of Louisville, Kentucky. And we have pretty much spread the word throughout the Commonwealth as to what is going on with his case. And so I'm not gonna hesitate. I'm gonna get right into it. Also, before then, I want to thank Ron Hargrove and company and Eddie Davis for their videography and photography support with these broadcasts. We're gonna continue these broadcasts until Grandmaster Jay has been freed. Thank you. This letter says, to maximize the power of our partnership, Mr. Johnson has approved the release of the current information pertaining to his federal and state cases brought against him in retaliation for his 2 historic demonstrations in pursuit of justice for the killing of Breonna Taylor. It is his hope that this information will equip your organization and others you are working with the ammunition needed to obtain his release from his current pre-sentencing detention and eventual acquittal of the unjust conviction placed on him by the U.S. government. Number 1, Mr. Johnson was arrested by U.S. authorities in December 2020 and charged with committing a crime in September 2020, the night before his historic, in fact, demonstration at Churchill Downs. Mr. Johnson was accused of pointing his weapon at federally deputized LMPD officers on a roof in downtown Louisville who said they were overlooking Jefferson Square Park. They did not arrest, they did not detain him, nor shoot at Mr. Johnson when they saw this happen. Number 2, when he was in federal custody, the state of Kentucky charged Mr. Johnson with 5 counts of wanton endangerment for the same alleged incident. This is the same charge they levied against and acquitted Breonna Taylor's killer, Brett Hankerson, of. Number 3, the arrest of December 2020 seemed odd since Mr. Johnson had been back to Louisville several times between September and December 2020 for public appearances, including a videotaped speech at Louisville's interim police chief's reception on October 6, 2020. Mr. Johnson was in a room with multiple police officers and city leaders and was not arrested nor detained by them. Number 4, Mr. Johnson was released from federal custody after 1 day of detention and state custody on the same day after posting a $5,000 bond. Number 5, Mr. Johnson was restricted from leaving the states of Kentucky and Ohio, where he lives. He was further prohibited from accessing social media. This seemed odd since his charges had nothing to do with the internet. Number 6, Mr. Johnson complied with the conditions of his pretrial release with no violations for nearly 2 years awaiting trials. He attended all required hearings and was very cooperative with the judicial system. Number 7, Mr. Johnson, unfortunately, was burdened with the expenses of having 2 sets of lawyers and investigators in preparing for the 2 trials. Number 8, Mr. Johnson was not required to wear an ankle bracelet, submit to a drug test, nor any of the other requirements placed on more severe offenders. Number 9, Mr. Johnson's federal trial was held the week of May 23rd through the 27th, 2022 in Louisville Federal District Court. The judge residing was the Honorable Benjamin J. Beaton. Number 10, after a week trial that consisted of all LMPD law officers, enforcement officers, as witnesses and 2 civilians, Mr. Johnson was found guilty on all counts by an all-white jury that deliberated for only 1 hour. Can you imagine that? An all-white jury deliberated for only 1 hour. Number 11, upon the reading of the verdict, Judge Beaton scheduled a sentencing hearing for August 22nd. He then inquired to both parties about their position on detention pending the hearing, which was 3 months away. The United States asked for detention, and the U.S. Federal Public Defender said nothing. Number 12, Mr. Johnson was immediately remanded to the custody of the U.S. Marshals and placed in detention at the Oldham County Detention Center in LaGrange, Kentucky, where he is currently to this day. Number 13, U.S. law states that detention is only needed when there is absolutely no way or combination of ways that will ensure the appearance of a defendant at sentencing. This was not discussed at the end of the trial. Number 14, Mr. Johnson subsequently fired his attorney and has hired new private counsel. Number 15, this new legal team has filed several motions, this is very important, on behalf of Mr. Johnson that have extended the scheduling of the sentencing hearing until November 9th, 2022. Number 16, the motions point out several problems with the trial and may result in an acquittal. We certainly hope so. Number 17, Mr. Johnson should be released. This is of utmost importance. Mr. Johnson should be released, read my lips, from detention pending the resolution of these motions and his sentencing hearing if one still happens. Number 18, the case is still pending and has not moved forward. That's where we are today. Tomorrow, August the 19th, at Bishop Lyons Church, Gospel Missionary Church, located at 3226 Vermont Avenue, and many of the representatives of the Bring Him Home campaign presented to several candidates that are running for the position of judge. The general election is coming up November the 8th, so they were there, as well as other community leaders and other activists, pastors, so forth and so on. And also, NAN has hosted several town halls. We will continue to do this. I personally, and also videoed by my videographer, I want to thank him so much. I just thank God for him so much. Mr. Ron Hargrove, and also Mr. Eddie Davis, photographer, for assisting with the broadcasting of these YouTube cast that we're going to continue to do until Grandmaster Jay is free. I thank you for your attention today. If you're looking for opportunities to assist Grandmaster Jay, then you need to go to Justice for Grandmaster Jay website, Justice for Grandmaster Jay at gmail.com. Justice for Grandmaster Jay at gmail.com. Thank you so much. And as they say, shalom.